Yes, sir. It's your boy Kyle, the Kid, and Mega the Boy, and welcome to another episode of Vibe with Your Boys podcast. How you living? How you feeling, Mega?
Shit, chilling, man. Tired as usual.
Are you never not tired? Like, when is the last time you've been energized? That's a better question.
I'm a hardworking man. I don't know, bro.
I respect it. I respect it. I ain't gonna hate on you. I ain't gonna hate on you, player. If you haven't noticed, man, we're joined with a very special guest, Jay Burna.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good?
What's happening, man? How's everything going with you?
All is well, man. How about yourself?
Can't complain. You know, just closing off the year, trying to wrap a few things up.
For sure, for sure.
How has your 2022 been?
I mean, it has been very adventurous to say the least.
Adventurous. Seems like you done been through some stuff.
Yeah, man. You know, positive, negative. You know, learned some lessons, grew some lessons, and I'm excited for 23.
You already, got the resolutions going. You do that, or the vision board,
goals and vision boards. Yeah, no resolutions. Like just set goals. I just not try to knock off every goal off the list.
Do you think that you hit any of your 2022 goals that you had set in 2021?
A couple of them.
A couple of them.
Definitely in the beginning of the year, for sure. I came out the gate swinging, for sure. So yeah.
Now I gotta admit, like sitting here doing this interview with you is kind of crazy because for years, of course, Jay Burna has been a part of the South Florida music scene. With your upcoming story, like I remember, I think it may have been one of your first videos on MTV Jams.
Sure.
Ready, like years ago.
Yeah.
To see like your journey and everything is dope. So like, I want to ask, what would Jay Burna now tell to that kid all them years ago about the journey and everything?
Oh man, you still here? You still here? Consistency really matters, and I would tell that kid like, good job, thank you. Because if I wasn't that hungry, like not taking no for an answer, kid, I probably would not be still doing this.
Oh, so you at that age, how you remember how old you were around that time?
That's like, that was like, we were in 22. That was like 14, 13. So maybe, what is that, 8 years ago? What is that? My mouth is probably horrible right now. 22, 8 years ago? Yeah. I was just getting out of, I was just like, probably like in my first year of college, second year of college. Yeah.
And at that age, you said you were the take no for an answer type of guy. Like you wasn't taking no for an answer.
Nah. I was just like, I gotta get it. Everybody, all my peers had went to, they were like, they took their SATs, ACTs, they went off to schools far. And I was just like, I'm about to just do this music.
You were down here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a degree in business and just like, I'm gonna just figure out this music's like, I was already like online at the time with the mixtape market. I was buzzing mixtape wise. So I was just like, I'm gonna just take this to a further notch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, originally, where you from originally? I'm
from Florida. I was born in LA though.
Born in LA?
Yeah.
So it was a few months in LA, then straight to Florida, or how that
work? No, I probably was in LA until like I was like 6.
6, okay.
Yeah, then
what's your nationality?
I'm Haitian.
So those was in LA, they was chilling
at
in California.
That time, hell no. Oh. At that time, hell no. Hell no. Like all the Haitians stayed in one neighborhood. When I was
okay, y'all was compact.
It was like almost like a little community. We know who you is, you know who you are.
Okay.
And then as I got older and I went back, I love it. It's a lot of Haitians out there.
Still got some people over there, or
no? All my family migrated east.
Okay, I bet. And so coming up in grew up in Broward.
Yeah, I grew up in Broward.
Coming up in Broward, how was that for you? I mean, you said you came here when you were 6, so maybe it wasn't that big of a culture change, or was it?
I speak different.
Okay.
As the longer I stayed here, I started picking up on my accent started to adapt. But yeah, like that was a little different. Everybody would say I speak proper, but it wasn't really the proper. It was just the LA accent.
Yeah.
It was like so yeah, it wasn't that much of a difference.
Okay.
Like, cause it was like my family wanted me out of a setting that
area. Yeah.
Yeah, it was gang culture heavy, and then to get here, and it was just like, colors don't exist. Everybody with it. So it's just like you just gotta adapt to the jungle or find a way out. So
What part of LA where you were?
Inglewood.
Inglewood, okay.
Yeah, you in trenches.
For sure. I mean, it was. We ain't gonna say it was always the,
Yeah, like
but
just
yeah.
like any hood or area, has the ups and lows,
Not for sure.
Oh, and then growing up down here, like what was you into? You was into sports? You was into music?
Yeah, when I started playing baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, I was playing baseball and football. I got to high school, and then it was just like I got around some kids that was just like, "You play baseball?" And I'm like, "Damn, is baseball bad?" Because I noticed the difference. It's like when I'm playing baseball, it's just probably like me and like two other black kids, and it's like
that's
everybody
not really
else
a South
is white.
Florida thing, but like low key, like you said, from California or like if you're in New York, like baseball is a common thing. Like
it was. I loved it. I was rocking out, traveling. It was a vibe. And then I let the peers around me go to like, nah, man, nah. So I really wanted to do music anyway, so I kind of shifted from baseball to started to like rapping.
What piqued your interest in music?
Man, my pops had Tupac tapes. Then I had an older cousin named D. God bless his soul. Like he was rapping, and he would bring home CDs, like him rapping and stuff. I'm like, man, I could do this. And then from there, like I would just freestyle around the neighborhood, and then people would come give me the battle. And then from there, I started freestyling in school, and then it just took flight from there.
For sure. Now, when it comes to like the upbringing, like you said, your dad was listening to Tupac and stuff like that. Did you have like the typical Zoe upbringing, like strict, or like were they kind of like cool?
It was a mix. I still had cultural Haitian parents, like where it's just like, don't wake me up while I'm sleeping, or you still getting whoopings, or like everything that's cultural about like Haitian upbringing. I went through it, but I had Americanized parents because they was in America so long.
All right.
So it was like a balance. Like I understood what the American kids were saying in school because my parents was already onto it. But then my culture I was strong on my culture because I had a Haitian upbringing. So
for sure. Now, fast forward all these years. Of course, we're gonna go in and out of the story. Recently, you dropped the single "Drifting Away." That song is about, of course, you and a significant other, not seeing eye to eye. How do you go about making a song like that? Do you have to get like real personal?
I mean, it's just real life. It's just real life. I was in a relationship. Didn't really work out. I'm not like, she was like publicly toxic with it, and I'm not one of those people
publicly toxic with it.
Yeah, I'm not really one of those people that's gonna put people in my my business like that. So like I just go to the studio and get it off. And it was a real life situation that turned into a song that probably was supposed to it was not supposed to. It was gonna stay on the hard drive, but just like I kept playing it for people, and like, you gotta put this out. This is different.
So at the time you was making it, it was more therapeutic than actually
for sure.
to put it out.
A lot of my music is therapeutic. Like that's just my take on it. It's like that's how I feel. Like I'm gonna go in there and whatever I'm going through that day or that week is definitely coming out on the beat.
So when you're dealing with somebody who publicly releases your business or whatever, is it something that you see like Jay Burna's like, not again, or you like, come on, you vibe, or like, how do you address that?
You try to handle it private, like, yo, you tripping, like, just we got to keep this a little bit more player than this, like,
you mentioned that in the song.
Yeah, we got, what I'm saying, we got, it's like it's names attached to this, like it's people watching, what I'm saying, so like you got to be a little bit on point with it, but you can't really control emotions for people. You can't control other people's emotions, and for that, it was just like, it is what it is. I'm gonna just do what I do. Create, my art from it and then move forward.
Now, some people say, like, once you bring out issues to the internet, there's no resolving it. Is that something that you agree with? Or it's like, it's always a way, just how...
Now you just got a jury. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
everybody has opinions, you know what I'm saying? You got the girls that's just like, oh, I've been wanting him. And you got the news that's like, man, I've been trying to get in her chest. Then you got the in-betweeners just like, man, maybe y'all should... And it's just like a bunch of different opinions. everybody has a take on it. People that you've
Mhm.
never spoken to before want to reach out now. Everybody
Hey
want to know
man,
your
I'm just
business.
checking on you, man, making sure everything
Nah,
good.
no, you don't. You just trying to see what that post was about.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it.
Mhm.
I think the internet just inflames a lot of stuff that
Okay.
could have a solution privately. You know what I'm saying, so that's my take on it.
All right, now come. What's next after Drifting Away? I mean, that single, it seems like it's doing pretty good, being recepted well.
Mhm.
So going into 2023, what are the plans like? You working on a project? What's the
Nah, for
vibe?
sure. You know, I have a project coming out top of the year in March. It's called Dear You / No More Apologies. So yeah, I got a full project. I got another record releasing January. Another record coming after that. It's just like yeah, it's gonna be a vibe. Like the record I got with Tips on there,
Okay,
joint with Fetty's on there, and then just a lot of more surprises.
for sure. That first track, you said "Dear You" / No More Apologies. Is Jay Burna turning into like more unapologetic type
Yeah,
of thing?
for sure. I've always like personally been unapologetic, like about like how I move with like my grind, but now it's just like I like fuck all that commercial shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
like I've been doing that. It's like I've been doing commercial records, and it was just like that's not how I really want to. I want people to know who I am. Like fuck that. Like I don't care how nobody feels. I don't care about nobody's opinion. Like this is my art. If you don't fuck with it, somebody does. Like this is for me. You feel me? So no more apologies. Like if you feel I wronged you, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm for me, I'm always clean my face. But if anybody holding grudges, fuck you. Anybody feel like I shouldn't be doing like what I need to be doing to better myself, fuck you. Anybody who's hating, fuck you. No more apologies. I'm
In
not
case you haven't
apologizing.
gotten the message, fuck you.
It's, you know what I'm saying? It's just like no more apologies. Like this is who I am.
How did you get to that point though?
That seemed like a breaking point.
Experiences. Nah, it's definitely a breakthrough. You know what I'm saying? Like you go through, like you know, as like you always want to keep your like, especially like when you stand on morals and you stand on wanting to make sure that people view you for your standards in life and stuff like that. You always want to please people. You know, it's just like, yo, nah, this, you know, like being solid is sometimes a weakness. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you just get to a point where it's just like, you know what? I can't please everybody. No more apologies.
This year, and maybe the last couple of years, I learned that sometimes you have to stop worrying about always being perceived as the good person and things like.
Right.
Sometimes you extend yourself so much, or you're so worried about, I don't want to seem flawed. I don't want to seem like I'm not a good person, but. No,
but I'm really doing this for you.
Yeah,
like, what about me? You know
I'm getting no benefit out of this.
Yeah,
I'm extending myself and putting myself in an uncomfortable position to where like, forget about it. Type stuff,
for sure. Like, I feel like everybody should have an unapologetic approach. I'm not saying be disrespectful with how you move, but I feel like
put you first.
You first. Not saying like, but nurture your relationships, but nurture you the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't help nobody if your cup is empty. You know what I'm saying? And that's mentally whatever you feel like I'm talking about. Like, you gotta nurture yourself.
Now, you also mentioned with being unapologetic about, you not chasing like, commercial records and stuff like that. Is that something that you kind of got into the habit of doing? Like, let me just get that one, instead of making the music that you actually want to make.
For sure. I mean, I've always had those records, but for the last 3 years, if you like, my releases were always radio ready. You know what I'm saying? It's just like pop vibes or like, things that's just like, oh, this is commercial. It's that vibe. And then when you see me in person, we hang out. It's like, oh man, you from the trenches. Like you hang out like us. Not saying like I want to portray myself as such. It's just more so like
be true to who you are.
Yeah, like this is just my vibe, and the music is honest. The music is real. If it ends up coming out commercial, so be it. But I'm not chasing that no more.
All right, and now when it comes to, like you said, you got the a song with Tip. How did that situation come about with you? Like
the internet.
He
found
you on the internet?
Yeah, I reached out for a verse and he hit me back and it was just like, let's work. I sent them records Record sat there for a little minute. Then I get a call because I just kept grinding. I got a call. Me and the team just kept grinding through it. And he was just like, man, what you think about me EPing some music for you? I'm like, what I think? What do you mean what I think? Yeah, let's do it. Like, when can you get here? You know what I'm saying? So we flew out, cut the records. And then from there, it was just, yeah.
Okay. Grew up on T.I., big T.I. fan? Or?
Yeah. Riding to go see ATL bumping the King album with my kid girlfriend and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that was like, that's I definitely, I looked up to him. You know what I'm saying?
Was it like a nostalgic feeling to first just reach out for a record, but then he ends up, saying, let me EP a record for you, and then let's actually work together and build something?
I'm a shoot in the dark every time, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, my shots are sometimes majority of the time they're precise, but if I don't know how it's gonna happen, I'm gonna try it. You know what I'm saying? And just the fact that I knew I always wanted to work with him, I was just like, I'm gonna just shoot my shot. You know what I'm saying? At the time, me and Fetty had a record that was doing good, it was charting. I was just like, right, if I could do this, I could do anything.
What's next?
Yeah.
What's next happening?
For sure.
Are you in a position to where like you've been like trying to like soak up game from him, or is it just like I'm more so just watching him and learning how he moves?
I soak up game from everybody.
Okay.
Regardless of who it is. Like it could be him, or it could be a kid that just came out of nowhere and just said something and was just like, damn.
You can learn from anybody.
Yeah, I'm a student. I'm a student of life. So yeah, for sure. I've always like I pick up on anything like, he'll sit and say something like, all right, I'm saying I'm gonna apply that. But that's just me as a person, regardless of who you are. Like if you say something that I know that I can take from it, I'm willing to learn.
In your journey in music, what's one thing that you learned that you wish somebody would have told you before you got into the journey of music?
Don't take everything personal.
Yeah.
Don't take everything personal because everybody don't have like the know-how to be able to assess if they're wrong or right. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people just hustling for themselves. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of people have like this fear of offending somebody. So you could end up being that sacrificial lamb by mistake type of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's just like, you don't take everything personal. I mean, always keep count. Make sure be observe, but don't take everything personal because you never know. That person always has to double back, regardless of how you think of how you see it. The person that tried you, they got to double back eventually, especially if you hustling. Mm-hmm. If you good at what you do, they got to double back.
Is that something that like something used to happen? It used to be like, okay, yeah, it's a wrap for that. Like you used to take everything to heart, like done it, or
I've been there where I'm like, man, these old. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I've had moments in current times where I was just like, this, and then I gotta, you know what?
It's not even that deep.
Get back, player. You know what I'm saying? Like, get back right. I give myself a few times to get out my feelings, like a few minutes to get out my feelings, or a few days to get out my feelings, and then I get right back to it. So it's just like, yeah, like I'm saying, don't take everything personal because I say it from experience, and the more I get to a point where it's just like, you know what? You just don't know what you're talking about, or you just don't really understand. I'm going to show you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That works out.
Now, does your work keep you in Broward a lot, or are you just most always on the go? Like how is like a day in life in Jay Burna going?
Both. I'm going to travel. If the work calls for me to leave, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'll be in LA for some time, or I'll be in Atlanta for some time. If I need to go to New York for some time, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, wherever the work calls, I'm there.
So how do you make time for like the person, whether it's a significant other, or making time for friends or family? Like, how do you balance that?
There's an understanding within it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely an understanding within it that says like, all right, if you're dealing with me as an individual, you have to understand that there's going to be times that I'm not going to be in town. Like, we're going to have to figure out this communication thing. That's why I'm so big on communication, to help people understand.
Okay, so you're big on communication.
Yeah, big on, help you understand what I'm saying, or how things are going, or why this is like this. Like, so I'm big on communication for that reason. As far as like the time I have away from my child, it kills me, but there's a bigger picture. I'm trying to make sure when it's time for her to go to school, she ain't got to pay for nothing.
For sure. So
yeah.
It's one of those things to where, because you'll hear some artists say that they're not really trying to take that time away or spend that time away, but for you, it's more of a like, I'm doing this for her future.
All this is for legacy. Okay. None of this is for vanity. I don't care about like none of this is for like, man, I'm trying to have the most ballerist life in the world. Nah, all this is for equity and legacy. To be honest, like that's what I'm doing it for, like to leave something behind.
You just have the one daughter, one child.
Just one child.
Okay, and how when you had her, how did that change you?
It made me soft.
Okay.
It made me soft. It made me soft. Like I'm still with the shits low key, but it just definitely gave me a lot more compassion, a lot more understanding, a lot more respect for women.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are some of the high quality traits of having a daughter.
How you with like the going out to the clubs and everything like like the nightlife? Like, is that something that you're big on, or like you kind of did all that? Like,
I'm antisocial like a mug, and it's just like it's not like true antisocial because I know how to work the room, but sometimes I have like social anxiety. It's just like because people are weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I'm big on energy, so it's just like I don't know if I want to do this. I'll be in the room making creating the best vibes, and then I'll leave and be like, damn, why do I feel so drained? You know what I'm saying? So it just differents, like depending on the size of the room or whatever room I'm in.
Is it more so like you going out with the same group of people, or a lot of times that you're around people that you're not even familiar with?
That's gonna happen all the time.
Yeah.
But the industry's small as hell.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like eventually, like you start going to it, you're like, it's the same people.
You more the popping bottles type of guy, or just more like this vibe yourself?
Both.
Depends on how you
Depends on
night.
how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. Depends on how I'm feeling or where I'm at. If it's like a little small hookah spot, we on some like low key vibes, like just some drinks and we just gonna hang out. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like a setting where, the lights need to come out, then the lights need to come out. But it just depends on the setting.
Being that you travel and you go to these different cities, what's your favorite like nightlife experience in these cities? Like, is it just down here?
My favorite nightlife I love the aesthetic of Atlanta's nightlife.
Okay.
But nothing beats the strip club in South Florida.
Strip club got the best down here.
Oh, yeah, the food.
So forget what they said about Magic City, Follies in Atlanta.
Magic City is top tier. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But The Office and G5 and Playhouse, those definitely up there with Magic City for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like, would you say like a vice of your strip clubs, or is it something that you just enjoy from time to time?
I make music for women. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the aesthetic.
Interject.
Yeah, definitely interjects. Like it's inspiration in there. And it's just a vibe. You see everything when you in the strip club. You got the hustlers, you got the gangsters, you got the women, you got the nurses, you got it's everything in there, and it's just a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Especially like if the vibe is positive. Strip club it's an aesthetic. It's artwork.
Artwork.
For sure. Strip club is artwork.
Now you just mentioned something saying that you make music for women. Was that always been intentional, or is that something that you shifted towards?
Definitely shifted. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first, like, if you hear my early music, there's hints of like stuff for women, but it's more so me trying to out rap the you know what I'm saying? I'm like on some like Nas, Hove, Wayne shit on my early mixtape stuff. So like you can hear it's like I'm barring out. And then when I drop Ready,
that's
I was just like, oh, this is different. This is different. Like it's a whole nother females, they gonna rock with you regardless of whatever happens. Like people can be like, man, no, this is my favorite artist, but you making music for women, they gonna support you all day. And that's what I'm at with. I love women.
So that being said, how is it for you in the South Florida like lifestyle as far as like finding somebody for you down here? Because it's all about the flash, the glitz and glamour. You being somebody that's been in the industry for a while and stuff like that, they may just look at you for Jay Burna. Making music
that happens.
Like
That happens. But you got to be able to have like some discernment.
Yeah.
And to know who's who and what's what. Yeah. Pay attention to energy and stuff like that. For me, it's just like I don't really let people get that close. know what I'm saying? So like if you do happen to get that close, it's just like we gonna figure out this vibe. If it's not the vibe, then nobody needs to know, and then we just move on from it.
So, but I mean, you may move that discreetly, but the person that you
dealing with
may not move that discreetly. So is that like a ground rules thing? Like, listen, I'm low key, or like?
I mean, I think it's just a message. Like, I mean, I know, like, the vibe is there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The vibe is there. Some girls are like, thank God for close friends now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, go ahead, you could post me in your close friends. It ain't tripping.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's just like, if we ain't like on some like public shit, then don't post me. You know not to post me. Nah, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but,
like on some like, come on, take that down. Like, what are you doing?
You just gotta know.
Okay.
You gotta know. Like,
Okay.
you just gotta know. Like, and if I go to saying like this my lady, and when I go to saying that, then it's like, all right, you know what, you good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. But you know, don't just post me if we just talking.
Does it take a while for you to get there to be like that's my lady type stuff, or is
it's a whole
process?
Yeah, we gotta build trust. We gotta know what this is. We got to know that you are who you are as a person. You're not just, you know, because once you meet somebody, it's like the introduction usually is different from the...
the mask come off.
It's like, oh, okay, this is who you really are. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even the level next to living with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's levels to it. So it's just like, it's a vibe. I'm good at discernment that I do know.
Now, it's safe to say like you've been doing music like 10 plus years?
Yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned something as far as like, you know, communication. Is Jay Burna past all that like complaining about me being at the studio type stuff, or like is that something that you feel like you just have to deal with regardless, or?
Nah, I don't care. I'm in the studio. Like my partners hate it. They hate it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like one of my business partners so happens to be my engineer, so it works out. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we just work. Like this is the thing. Like, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else we gonna do? You want like, like we not gonna be in the studio?
We're not
like,
gonna do it.
For what? Like, this like 10,000 hours times 10. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the studio is how we gonna do it? How we gonna eat? You know what I'm saying? It's just like I'm sitting on probably like over 400, 500 songs, but when it's time to create those methods for them to come out, you know what I'm saying? We may need new music.
Now, when is the last project you dropped?
I haven't dropped a project since 2016.
Yeah, I've seen that. And so
I just been releasing singles.
What is the thought process behind that? Because I seen that and I was just like
6 years.
Yeah. So the singles, that's another part of No More Apologies.
Because you've been trying to do the commercial.
I've just been
sending it to the radio.
Drop a record, let vibe for a whole year, milk it for as much as I can, radio, whatever, playlist, all that shit. Milk it, and then next record. And I've yet to drop a project. Like, so now it's that time to get back to dropping projects. I did an EP. It was cool. And I was just like, oh, that's a good feeling for people to enjoy a body of work, although it was only 3 songs. But I know the feeling of like letting people vibe to a whole project. It's just like, if people can give me like love for like
3 songs,
like for the last 3 years, I've only released singles. Probably released like 4 songs in the last 3 years.
Has the plan been to drop a single, let it catch some buzz, hopefully it, you know, continues to go up and then release a project? Or was it just, you know...
The plan has just been, let's just see how far this record goes. This is one of them things. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, this is like one of those. Bomb. Milk it. And then once it's time for the next, it's for the next. The projects have been there, but the timing hasn't been.
Is that frustrating though? Because, you know, of course, a lot of times
that's a good question.
The singles that artists release usually aren't their favorite songs. Those are just the songs that they figure that the masses are going to grab their attention to. But the songs that you do love may be sitting right there, and then years pass, and then they either become dated or you may not like them no more.
Here's the thing though. I challenge a lot of artists to do this and check their back catalog and then listen to what they have out right now. And I can say with my hand on my heart that I make timeless music. Okay. I have records out that have been recorded in 2018, 2019. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these records can sit the test of time. Like, it's gonna be records on this project that's probably been recorded like 2-3 years ago, and they gonna feel like today. You know what I'm saying? So like, the goal of making music is to make sure that they have playback value.
It's not music for the now. It's music forever.
So that's always been my secret to recording. Like I knew that this time was coming where it's just like, you're gonna eventually have to put out music. People gonna get tired of you just dropping one by one. You're gonna have to give a body of work. Excuse me. So time is now.
Now, this isn't one of those things to where, you're gearing up to drop a project and then you just gonna go away from the plan, right? The project is coming though.
The project is coming. Project's already dated.
How many times have people heard that?
That the project is coming? Nah, it's already in the system.
Okay.
It's already in the system.
Okay.
Like, it's already in the system to drop. Like, only thing that could stop it is nothing. Nothing could stop it. There's a partnership in place right now for it. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta uphold my end of the bargain. You know what I'm saying? Project is definitely coming.
How did it come about with Fetty? Song with Fetty.
My partners, they was vibing with Fetty. You know what I'm saying? We got mutual friends, and listening to my music, he was just like, send me something. It's like, say less. I had this record I had wrote for Daniel Sky, and the rest was history. He sent the video back of the verse. I was like, oh, this is one of the moments. It was just like, because I was songwriting at the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna drop a single, and that's what that turned into. And me and Fetty been cool since. Free him, free the homie.
Show free Fetty. Being that you've been in the industry so long and growing and trying to grow, do you have goals still, or is it just to release your music and have it be received?
I just want to cater to my base. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a base that people support. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the most famous artist in the world. I'm not the most popularist artist from the crib, but I have a base. I can go somewhere and people know me. You know what I'm saying?
And
people listen to my music. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just want to keep feeding my base. After these 2 projects that are coming back to back, I'm gonna be, doing a lot of exec work instead of like the private exec work I've been helping people with low key. I'm gonna be tapping into that as well.
And another thing too, commercial success, especially when you're in the industry and you see what actually goes on, it's kind of overrated because there's so many artists to where, they may not have the high chart-topping singles, or they not charting at all, but you go to a show and it's sold out and their merch is doing great. And like you said, like, you have a base. And a lot of artists who have that commercial success necessarily don't have that base. So I feel like that's very important, that what you said, to where sometimes people can kind of be like blinded about, where they are in their career, or, what they have in front of them.
Yeah, now you have to understand what this is. Like, this is like truly a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just having this debate last night with one of my peers, like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning, talking about, like, the sprint versus the marathon. We were talking about 2 artists. I ain't gonna say the names. And I was just like, yeah, I'm telling you, they blew up way quicker, but this right here is gonna last longer. This artist right here gonna last longer. You know what I'm saying? Their record was out like, a year longer. You know what I'm saying? And now they starting to, you know what I'm saying? And you had to understand, it's just like, something could go viral overnight. You know what I'm saying? But that star could blow up and just boom, it's whatever. It is what it is. But, they be talking about meteors for years.
Okay.
They be talking, when the meteors come, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So
how do artists that's not, like, for example, you have the artist that's super popular, Drake's, this, that, whatever. But how do artists that's not super like famous and mainstream, how do they survive on like in the industry, just keep making money consistently without having charting songs?
Some niggas get into a brown bag when it comes to like their shows. Some dudes streaming enough for them to keep afloat. Some dudes streaming at minimum wage, and it's just like they gotta go work.
Now, like, you mentioned something. You said more behind the scenes. whether producing, executive side, is that
Yeah, no, I've written for a couple people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like
you're getting that pen bag.
you know, I'm putting bags together for people. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I need mine on top of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I just understand the setting. I understand like what it is within this industry. I'm not just here just to be like, my canvases look good when I paint, but I know the business pretty well. So it's just like, I know there's 4 different bags. I had my publishing company since I was 18. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm just getting the admin. I'm just cutting in somebody on my stuff. So it's just like,
Gotcha.
I just did a situation with a distro where I'm not the one that has to do all the work. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I understand the business pretty well. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's just the take on it. That's my personal take on it.
Gotcha. Now, before we end off, some news broke today. I don't know how true it is, but I just wanted to see your take on it. They said that Drake made a diamond necklace.
I don't know about that.
No, I ain't gonna ask you about Drake. I'm just saying about the 42 times that he thought about proposing to a woman, and he made a necklace based off of that. Could you fathom having like 42 women that you've like personally like known throughout your life to where you'd be like
42 women that I said I wanted to marry? No.
that you've seen as your wife?
I don't know if it was 42 women. It probably 42 times.
Yeah,
it could've
that
been
you
42
thought
times,
about it.
Yeah, because it could have been
one
woman multiple times. You thought about proposing.
I've thought about proposing maybe 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. 3 times. For sure.
And with any of those proposals, which one like was the closest? Like you was pretty much all you had to do was get down on your knee.
I've went, you know, like did the whole process. These 3 times was for one person. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, so yeah.
Okay.
We drifted.
Okay. Drifting, for sure. Now with that, I mean, being that you said you've had that 3 times, you do see yourself getting married in the future.
Nah, for sure. I mean, for all the successful people that I do know, they all have a wife. Or they got like that queen, like that one queen that's just like
hold them down and just they're power couple type stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like I got some homies, they do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of the game. That's part of life. Like you're gonna have to venture around. You do your exploration until you know what's what. But
navigations and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure. But my most successful homies, like my top 5 successful homies, they all got a queen.
You say, I'm trying to see what that looking like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the dudes that I'll be like, you know what? Nah, I'm inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really inspired. Like I get inspired a lot, but them dudes, they all have their queen. So for sure, I do see myself.
Okay, now that being said, Jay Burna, Zoboy, like what you looking for in a wife? Like what it entails? Just like somebody who's a partner, somebody who's more
partner, a quality person.
Quality person.
I be in my head a lot. Somebody that could pull me out of my head.
Talk to you.
Yeah.
Easy nerves.
Good balance. Someone that's just, good for the mental and good for the future. Not just for the current.
Okay. It's like little stuff like knowing how to cook and stuff. Is that part of any
you can learn those type of things. You can learn those type. But cooking is definitely a plus. Right. The cooking, cleaning,
especially around the holiday times. I mean,
yeah, for sure. But just a quality person to my liking, or what I would presume to be quality.
Sure.
You always will hear women talk about what their non-negotiables are, but I never really hear men talk about their non-negotiables. What are some of your non-negotiables that you're not bending, you're not folding?
I ain't gonna lie, you're right.
Steady, yeah, you never hear men talk about it.
Non-negotiables. Dang, what are my non-negotiables for a woman?
Besides, of course, she got to look attractive and stuff like that. But like, all right, she got no car.
Nah, because you can get
you
a whip.
Okay.
Like, that's monetary. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to hustle and get you this. Like, that's different. That's it got to be something that's just like.
Probably like moral, like.
Or, just like, I can't shift that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? If she smashed somebody in the circle.
In the circle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's understandable.
You know what I'm saying? Because we
close knit.
Yeah, like if it's like in a circle, nah.
What if it was like 8 years ago though?
Still.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
Nah, if I was like 19, it was like 8 years ago. Something like that. Nah. But like, nah. If it's like something in the circle and nah, I can't do it. That's definitely like
Okay. What about as far as like she used to work in the club?
I don't care about that.
Okay.
Like
It don't matter.
you gotta think about it, right?
Yeah.
So some dudes be like, nah, she worked in the club, she stripped. But think about before your girl smashed a couple people.
Yeah.
And they seen her naked.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's not my like that's
you can't be worried about who's seen your girl naked.
nah, I mean it's not saying that like morally like it's like
it's something to think about, but it's
it's
the end all
like
be all.
that's not the end all be all for me
Okay.
because it's like somebody has seen your girl naked before.
True.
It's moral things. I think it's just morals. Like your job, like you had to hustle, you had to get that. You had to do what you had to do, but it's more so moral things. Like it's definitely moral things. Like I'm big on morals.
Lastly, how does holiday season for you? Like you said, you have a daughter. You Santa Claus this year. Like how's that going?
Man, what she asks for, she gets. I'm not a festive person myself personally. Okay. I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so I never was like a holiday person. I celebrate birthdays because that's life.
Yeah,
but like everything else, I'm not too crazy about. I'll participate, but for my kid,
when you are in a relationship, do the women understand that? Like.
Oh no, I got it.
Okay,
like, if I'm in a relationship, if I'm in a relationship, then like,
I'm Jehovah's Witness.
I'm a Mother's Day person. I'm a like Valentine's. You know, it's like we gonna vibe. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. Don't expect me to be. If you see me in matching pajamas, make sure you repost this and be like, "Oh, they got him."
Okay,
that's you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
He's sprung.
He got him, but you know, I'm just like. I'm big on gestures, but I'm not crazy about holidays.
For sure, that's understandable. That's understandable, man. As we wrap up, let them know where they can follow you at, what you got coming for 2023, what they can expect.
Everything is JAYBURNA. That's the social media. That's how you can find me anywhere. Anything that needs with music is JAYBURNA. Dear You / No More Apologies dropping in March of 2023. Look out for, pray for something dropping. I got a record with Ty Dolla $ign and T.I. on there.
Oh, Ty Dolla $ign, T.I.
It's going to be some vibes, man.
Sure.
It's definitely some vibes. Look out for some music. And the tour is definitely coming.
For sure. Y'all stay tuned to everything Jay Burna got going on. Appreciate you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's Kyle the Kid, Mega the Boy, Jay Burna. And we out.
You did.